Hello, my name is Danielle Rosa, and I am a third generation born here in America. Throughout my life, I lived in many different places. I was born in Portland, Oregon. I grew up in Parker, Colorado, and in Tucson, Arizona. And currently, I am living in San Jose, California. Out of all the places that I've lived in, I've always been curious about where my past relatives are from. I have questions like, where did they migrate from, and why did they come here to America? What were their experiences like living here as an immigrant? And so for this spoken history project, I decided that I'm going to be interviewing my tata, or my grandfather, about his parents, because I'm a third generation, and the relatives that migrated here are my great grandparents. And since they're no longer alive, the closest person that I have to interview would be my grandfather. So for this project, I'm going to be asking him questions about his parents and what were his experiences with his parents being immigrants. This is my tata. His name is James De La Rosa, and he was born in Southern California on July 25th, 1930. He married my nana, whose name is Maria Luisa. They married soon after they met in high school. This is first him explaining his mom's side and how she migrated here into America.
My mother, Lupe Villa, was born in the city of Chihuahua in the state of Chihuahua in Mexico. She was born in 1905, and the same year, the Villa family immigrated to El Paso. They went there because my grandfather wanted to work in the railroad in the United States.
From the website The Hispanic Experience Cultural Heritage, in 1877, the President of Mexico, President Porfirio Diaz, started the construction on the railroad in Mexico, in hopes that having this train system between Mexico and the U.S., that the nation would be able to export its natural resources and would receive foreign exchange to help with internal investment and government revenue. This new project inspired many Mexicans from all states in Mexico to come and work on this new railroad. Like my tata has mentioned, my great-grandfather was one of those men.
They were there until 1925 when the family moved to Santa Paula, California to work in their agriculture business. My mom went to school in El Paso from the kindergarten to the seventh or eighth grade. She was fluent in both English and Spanish. Uh, she never worked. She stayed home most of the time. So she met my dad in Santa Paula. My father, Juan Gonzalez de la Rosa, was born in Hacienda Abrego in the state of Zacatecas. He was born in 1905, and 5 years later, the revolution started. By then, my grandmother was a widow and had remarried to a person named Librado Calzada. There was a food crisis in 1920 after the Revolutionary War, and so my father's stepfather took him to El Paso.
The Mexican Revolutionary War started on November 20th, 1910. From Britannica.com, the reason behind the war was an attempt to overthrow the President Porfirio Diaz. But this movement was the start of a series of issues that Mexico would soon face, the food crisis that my tata mentioned being one of them.
From there, they worked their way from there to Santa Paula, California, where Librado had a friend who had told him that there was work there. They traveled by train and they worked themselves from city to city. They, the last city they stopped at in before they arrived in Santa Paula was Azusa. Librado had an accident in Azusa and died. From there, they went to Santa Paula, and my dad at the time was 15 years old, so he had no work experience other than working in the United States when they worked across from town to town.
Even though I didn't get to learn how my great grandparents met, it was interesting learning how both of them came here to America independently, like how both of their families migrated here. Um, because before this, I didn't know how they came here. My parents never told me because they didn't know. So it was really interesting to learn from my grandfather how they came. I enjoyed doing this project. I learned a lot. Yeah, thanks for watching.